So I'm dealing with a lot of backlash on stuff with people still trying to claim that I'm delusional, psychotic, out of my mind, crazy on this shit. I'm mad as hell. I will tell you that, and that is accurate. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of information on one of the big fucking drops that people gave on me to clarify the difference between a mental illness and narcissistic personality disorder, and the reason why I told you that this appears like I have schizophrenia. And when I said these pieces of shit can talk to me, make me do things without even being near me and using a technology to do it, I meant this is real. And I told you I'm tired of everybody acting like I'm the dumbass being psychotic about my shit. So, here's the thing. I dated a guy, but I didn't really date him because I was being sex trafficked, because they picked him because of his degree. Or at least, I hope to God, he was telling the truth, at least on that. Which was supposed to be a psychology degree. Kind of like a warm-up for him. Maybe an idea drop of how it works in their world and how they see things. I don't fucking know, and I don't fucking care. So I'm going to go over this as clearly as possible. This guy knew information from my family and how they were doing things and things about me way before I ever told him things, and details I didn't even tell people about things. He played off the idea that I was interested in ghosts and stuff like that. He thought it would be funny to see if I would believe him if he said, I saw a Civil War ghost here when the very first time I ever came over to his house to hang out. They're trying to make me fact check that right now, and that's not going to work. Anyways, so they did that. They're getting on my ever-loving fucking nerves. Anyway, so they did that. There was other information and things that they did, and on top of that, he played it very covert about his shit. He was very good at the honeymoon stage on shit, and towards the end of things, it pretty much exploded really bad. A lot of shit went down. He knew about things that happened. I lied about something happening to try to trick him, was the idea. It was not in my character to ever do something like that, because I had never, ever done anything that way. That was a tell on them. I'm not going to talk about it because they're using it as a way of saying that I'm a lying sack of shit about shit on top of things, even though they all know I'm telling the truth. So I'm not playing this game with them. Y'all are having fun with this because you know I'm going to nail your asses, and then nobody's going to be able to continue telling me that I'm lying my ass off with this one. The most important thing is when I started dating somebody else. He popped back up about a month into me dating the guy, maybe less, and decided to tell me a whole brand new story about things that were going on in his life, or had happened to him. I had told people for a long time, and I said told people, I had told a couple boyfriends. I said a couple. I make it sound really bad. I had what I thought was, I had one boyfriend in high school who I'm pretty sure I shared this information with, and then him, and a guy I really liked that I used to be my boss at Hawaiian Falls. I told him, Michael Manser. I can't remember anybody else right now. My brain does not want, whatever they're doing, I can't remember, but they were the only ones I can think of that I told. Anyways, like I said, I never went into details, but I told these guys I had been molested when I was younger. Um, what I never told them was, which was something that I had to struggle with and that I had difficulty with, was that, and it didn't, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this was a war zone for me in my head for a really long time, until I was about 11 or 12, when the guy at REI from the store I told you about did what he did. When he did what he did, I finally caved on it was molestation from another child. Initially, I didn't go that way. It was like on a war zone. I couldn't figure out which way to go with it on like decisions, and that was part of them messing with me. But it was another child that did it, and he was a little bit older than me. I don't know how old. I don't know if it was like 3 years, 5 years. I don't know. I don't remember how old he was. I don't remember the age difference. I just remember the way it went down and what happened. And then when they, anyways, I'll go back to that in just a minute. So I don't remember how old he was, and I used to remember the exact age I was when it happened, and then that got twisted around in my head because of this. And so it was roughly around 5 or 6, and I'm thinking it was closer to 6, but I can't remember. I want to say closer to 6. They're making this difficult for me because it's really starting to piss me off with this. I can't remember. Remember, I told you my birth mother gave me a bilateral skull fracture when I don't know if I told you that, but my birth mother gave me a bilateral skull fracture before I was 1 year old, which is the reason why we ended up getting adopted officially, or going through foster care for adoption officially, on top of everything else. Anyways, my ex, Garrett Adcock, who I told you I've been sex trafficked because I'm a crazy person apparently by saying the truth about this. First way you know you're being gaslit, you're confused. Second of all, playing a trauma bond to add to pulling someone back in on top of things. So I never told him about this, and I never went into details about it with anybody else at this stage in the game. So he tells me he apparently got messed with by another kid himself. Just randomly starts talking about it while we're catching up. Me, of course, being where I was at with trauma bond crap and the way I've been about things and how I've been dealing with my own stuff with things, I didn't process what he was saying and how he was saying it to me, and it's like I had forgotten that we had already dated, and he had already told me that he attempted to kill his dad when he was a kid, apparently, because he was that mad at his drunk father, who was an abuser. So I don't know how we missed this years later, and I'm being told this on top of everything else, but that's where it came up. So I didn't tell him anything, and it was supposed to be a sign or a clue so I could figure out that my family had told him stuff about my past. Details I had shared with nobody. He then tried to confuse me with the tactic. We split up because my feeling on it and what I was seeing was he was interested in another girl that he's now married to. And he lied to my face and said, I broke up with you because I got scared and I wanted to marry you, so that's why I broke up with you, which was a lie because my family had already talked to him about stuff. After he and I went through our messy bullshit breakup again after I left the other guy, which was a complicated mess that was a nightmare on top of everything else, that didn't help me feel any better about everything else that I was going through, and these assholes were having lots of fun playing with me on. Oh wow, they're having fun with this because they're trying to stump me up on this. You're not cute, assholes. Sorry, I have to gather between what they have just done to me right there. I've gone completely blank on what I was trying to say. And you know I normally don't get this bad when I'm talking on the videos. So they're not liking this one apparently and think they're being cute. When they went vocal and started talking to me about shit and letting me know, and my cousin Stacy showed up at my apartment complex that I had never shown my apartment complex to, and was stalking me around my apartment complex to show off that she knew where I was at and she was a part of this, and you know, she was one of the superstars a part of this shit, and it was funny and it was hilarious and this is great, or whatever fucking level of her shit with her victimization shit that she was going through about shit. That's what she did. And he told on himself so that I was able to figure out that my family had gotten involved, and told him these things so that he could help manipulate the situation and gaslight me and play their game and do their rules and how they do it. And I figured out that that meant something very, very, very bad about him that I'm not happy about, because it's a pattern I keep ending up in myself with guys I got sex trafficked with and keep getting sex trafficked with. So with all that and telling you that information, when we split up, I started attempting to write a book about my past, and I was like belligerently drunk a lot during this, so I was like very upset. I created a page and I started posting information about my past. And I can't remember if I specifically talked about the boy during this time period. They want me to not acknowledge, they want me to lie and say I was doing it prior to it. I did not do it until after him and I split up that time. So he didn't have that information beforehand. So I needed to clarify that, because there are people that are going to tell you that, well, she did try to write a book about her childhood, but she did it beforehand, so that's where you got the information. And that's not accurate. I did it after, because when he dumped me again, I went off the deep end and got really upset and just kind of like, it was a disaster zone. And so I was drinking even heavier than before. And so I would try to write about things because, I don't know, I guess that was their idea with me on top of everything else. They're trying to call me somebody with narcissistic personality disorder and that I'm just lying my motherfucking ass off on top of everything else. But then I've got Amber Heard, who's come out, and I want to believe Amber Heard because of my situation, and I can relate to things with Amber Heard on what, like, seeing things and patterns and how she is with shit. And at the same time, I feel differently, and I feel like, here we go. They're so funny. Long story short, it's like people decided to say borderline personality is just constantly delusional about the shit and make shit up and lie about shit all the fucking time, and that's not true. That's a lie. That's a bunch of bullshit. And narcissistic personality, especially malignant narcissists, sociopaths, they are ruthless little bastards. Remorseless pieces of shit, and will play the fucking shit out of you. And that's what my family is. A bunch of pieces of shit like that. So that seems to be the game that they're playing. So Garrett Adcock can go fuck himself for thinking he was being smart, but at the same time, he can suck my own dick. Fucking A. I told you, these little fucking assholes are cute. Alright, so this is gonna be my most awkward video that I'm posting, with the fucking assholes fucking with me throughout the entire process. Like I said, they intentionally have been gaslighting, manipulating, and abusing the shit out of me, and enraging and sex trafficking me, and getting involved with the guys that I sleep with, I date, or anything like that. And I didn't lie, they're doing it. And I'm supposed to say it's because they say schizophrenia runs in my family. And once again, I don't know, with all the information that people have been telling people and how people have been telling me things and letting me know, I don't know how you can defend claiming I have schizophrenia and I'm lying about myself. I don't know how you can defend it without saying that somehow they guarantee I was going to end up a schizophrenic, which nobody can guarantee that if it runs in your family, or I'm just plain telling the truth. So, fuck y'all.